All right, guys, just hear me out. Don't be spamming the hate comments yet. Let's just get right into it. So, I stream every single day on TikTok. I have a lot of people in the Discord, just DMs, a lot of questions I get asked. And the number one question I get asked, or one of the top questions I get asked is, how do I have confidence in my model? How do I have confidence in trading slash like the process? Just overall, how do I stop being so fearful, right? And I get this question asked a lot, and I kind of give a similar answer of confidence isn't real, and you guys are always like, huh? Like, I don't get it. So let me kind of break it down. A lot of the times, your guys' confidence is not based in anything of substance. So what does that mean? You guys will come and say, "Oh, well, I can't execute, like I'm too fearful. I don't know, my model says to enter and I don't enter and I don't know why." Right? That kind of tells me a few things. Number one is you don't really know what you're saying, which I know sounds crazy, but not only do you not know what you're saying, you're even asking the completely wrong question. So let's break it down, right? Let's say today, or let's not do today, today's too choppy. Let's say that on Tuesday, right, for some reason, your model told you to go short here, right? Let's say you went short here, stop loss here, whatever, right? And your model told you, oh, time to execute. This is the perfect time. Like, no better time than right now, right? A lot of you guys would come to me and say, oh, bro, like I faded the trade and then it completely hit TP and it was just the worst day ever, right? And I kind of say again, how does that make sense that it's confidence is a lack of confidence in the model? That makes no sense, right? Because if your model's telling you to execute and you don't execute, that's not your model's problem, that's your problem. And then you guys gonna say, yeah, that's my problem, as I don't have conviction. No, 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 no. Your issue isn't that you don't have conviction. Because not making a decision is still making a decision. You have conviction, you have confidence, you just place it in the wrong things. You choose to place your confidence in your thoughts and in your feelings and in the split decision moments more than you choose to place it in something of substance like your model, like your entry, like your strategy, right? So let me explain. Think about it like this. If you're flying, if I told you guys, hey, I need you guys to fly a plane, right? You're gonna fly from Los Angeles to New York City, right? And I told you guys, it's a couple hour flight. And I tell you guys, hey, you guys need to follow this exact set of rules. You can only press this button and steer at this time, and you can do only these few things. And if you don't do it exactly how I tell you, you're gonna crash and you're gonna burn. You're gonna crash the plane, right? None of you guys would even dare press another button. You would say, "Oh, okay, phew, all right, I gotta listen to what he says. If not, I'm cooked." Right? But if in that moment you kind of start thinking, well, these buttons look pretty familiar. I mean, I've done, a few flight simulators here and there, and, it's not too different from driving a car, right? I mean, it has autopilot. I should be fine, right? Or something else. Maybe something happens, right? If they say, hey, some accident might happen, but you need to stay on the course, and a bird like kind of flies past your window, and you start saying, oh, okay, I got to move the plane. I got to, you got to start deviating from the plan. That kind of sounds stupid, doesn't it? You kind of be like, well, he told you, and your plane crashes. You'd be like, well, he told you not to change anything, and you started changing things. It's the exact same thing with your model. If you place more trust and more faith and more confidence in just the thoughts that you have in that moment, in that trade, in that time, you're never going to get anywhere because things change constantly. Our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings change constantly. And that's the number one reason why I say confidence isn't real. Because yes, confidence is an action. Confidence is a skill, but it's also an emotion, and emotions are inherently unstable. There are some weeks your trading is going to look so good. There are some weeks that you're going to have crazy winning streaks, payout after payout after payout. Some months you're going to do amazing. And then the next week it could instantly switch on you. You could have a bad, market conditions, right? Today, super choppy. If you entered today, you probably got chopped up. Or even yesterday, right? PM session, it was pretty choppy as well. Like a lot of you guys are putting your faith in trading in the wrong way. You're putting your faith in outcomes. You're saying, okay, well, I'm winning money, so I'm confident, and if I'm losing money, I'm not confident, right? So days like again, Monday even, choppy, 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 you have no confidence. So then your issue isn't that you don't have confidence. Your issue is you're applying it in the wrong way. You're basically saying, I'm only going to be confident when things look good, and when things look the wrong way, I'm going to choose to follow myself first above my plan. That kind of sounds stupid because then you're not really following a plan. You're only following the plan when it's convenient to you. You're only following the plan when it makes sense to you. But there are times when it's not going to make sense. And that's when you guys start crashing out. That's when you guys start having really bad losing days, is when you kind of look and you say, I don't know, like the market looks a little off today. And also I've been on a losing streak, or I haven't gotten a payout, or whatever your situation is. Then you're always going to follow that way instead of your model, right? And then if you guys are following something that's always changing, right? Our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions are constantly changing, right? One minute you're happy, the next minute you're sad, right? The next minute this trade looks amazing, the next or one minute it looks crazy, the next minute it looks terrible. Then you're always going to live kind of in that way. Your trading is always going to look that way. It's always going to be like this, right? Let me draw it out. You're always going to be like, all right, well, I'm making money, payout, payout, payout. All right, well, we haven't gotten a payout in a few months, but it's okay. We'll kind of bounce back. Look, see, I told you I was going to bounce back. Look, we're going to do good. We had a good week. We're finally coming back. All right, well, this market condition wasn't great, and also I forced some trades, but we'll be back. A few good trades. Oh, now you're down. Now you're left spiraling. This is where you start spiraling. Now you really start going lower, right? Why? Because you're following your emotions, right? And again, when emotions look good, you feel good. You're like, all right, look, my trading looks amazing. My discipline looks amazing. My rule set looks amazing. And the instant you just get a little bit of a setback, right? Some losing week, or you blew an account, or whatever it is, now your emotion took charge, right? Now your emotions are leading the charge. And now that's when you start spiraling. Now wins feel more personal, losses feel more personal. And that way of thinking only ever leads back down the wrong path. You guys understand what I'm saying? That is why I say confidence isn't real. A lot of you guys are asking, how do I have confidence in my model? And I say, you don't need confidence to execute. You just need to recognize one thing. Am I going to choose to have confidence, or am I going to choose to follow my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions in this moment more than I'm going to choose to follow my plan? You don't need to believe your plan is amazing. Guys, I tell you this a lot of time. A lot of the times your models are not even that great. But you don't actually even need to have a great model to execute through prop firms, right? Through this way of making money. It is possible to have a pretty mid strategy and still make a lot of money. But a lot of you guys will never even get to that point of being able to execute because you're so worried about confidence, and you're so worried about my trading's working out. It's not working out. It is working out. It's not working out. If you could understand one thing, which is, yes, I feel very strongly. You don't have to pretend your emotions aren't there, guys. You don't have to pretend that you're not nervous. All I ask is that when you get those nervous thoughts, when you start feeling like not confident, and when you start feeling like I don't know if I should enter this trade, all it takes is one skill, one thing. Yes, I feel very passionately about not taking this trade. Yes, I feel like I should avoid this trade. But am I placing that in the fact that is that stemming from the fact that it's because I'm on a losing streak and currently actively market conditions are not good, or is it because I genuinely believe that, hey, like, even though my model says to enter, like, I feel like there's something that I'm not recognizing here. Those are two completely different things. If you start saying, no, I'm not going to take this trade because I'm scared, that's kind of like, no, makes no sense, right? A lot of you guys say, like, oh, I have confidence issues. Again, you're placing your confidence in the wrong thing. So your issue is always too much confidence, or it's always confidence in the wrong things. It's always confidence in the outcomes of your trade. And that's where we're going to get into the meat and potatoes, right? Think about it like this. If you only feel very strongly and good, like very, like trading's going to work out when you're winning, and when you're losing, you don't have confidence. Doesn't that sound like you have more of an issue with accepting outcomes than you do actually trading, right? Because if you're doing good when you're winning and bad when you're losing, right? If you start spiraling once you're losing, your issue isn't that you don't have discipline. Your issue isn't that you don't have patience or confidence or whatever you're saying your issue is. Your issue is that I choose to follow my outcomes, and I depend on my outcomes to make me feel some certain way, right? So you're basically saying if I'm winning, I feel happy. If I'm losing, I feel sad, right? Then naturally you're going to go that way. You're going to say, all right, well, if I'm losing, then I'm going to spiral. And that's why you guys will be, I've seen so many of you guys, 10K payout, 20K payout, 30K payouts. And then the next 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, oh, I just blew every account. I'm pretty much break even now. I spent all my money on evals, and I keep spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. And I say, yeah, because you're looking at situations. You're not looking at process, right? If you can sell yourself that, like, it's a skill called metacognition, right? Which is a big word, right? But metacognition is the skill that I want to talk about, which is, yes, I feel very strongly. A lot of you guys want to deny your emotions. You want to say, like, no, I'm not really you try to say, like, oh, I'm not scared. Yes, you are. But it's not denying that you're scared. It's saying, yes, I'm scared. It's acceptance, first of all. Yes, I do feel very strongly about, like, the fact that this trade might not work out. I feel very strongly that, you know, I've been losing, and obviously it sucks and it hurts. But even though I feel those ways, I choose to say these thoughts are fleeting. these thoughts lie to me every single day, right? There's times where you guys are so confident in something and it doesn't work out. That's proof that your thoughts can lie to you and deceive you, right? Even though I feel this way, am I going to sit here and am I going to accept these first instincts, these first thoughts, these immediate first reactions? Or am I going to say, let me sit here and kind of reflect for a second and then I'll kind of make a move after that, right? Which is not easy, but it is simple, right? It looks like this, right? Let's say, I'll give you an example right now. Let's say that you were taking a trade today, right? Let's say that you entered short here, right? Inverse fair value gap or whatever you guys want to say. Stop loss here, and your take profit was at, let's say CPI low, right? Or data lows. And then it looks really good. Oh, yeah, look at this. This is how you guys will be trading. Oh, bro, we entered here. Look at that. Big down close, big down close, big down close. Oh, yeah, TP's about to be in like 5 minutes. It's going to be an easy trade. Like, even if it comes back up, but once it comes back up, you'll kind of be like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't look so good. Like, maybe we'll kind of wait and see, I don't know. And then it goes back down again. And now you start saying, oh, yeah, like, bro, this is it. Like, we're finally going to make some money. Never mind. I was tripping. This is just a retest of whatever level. Now we'll finally get our trade. You'll even go break even, right? You'll do whatever it is. And then again, it comes back out, stops you break even. A lot of you guys will then say, that sucks. All right, immediate first thought. All right, immediate first thing. All right, where do I kind of go from here? You start saying, all right, well, even though I lost this trade, my idea wasn't wrong. Look, see, it still respected the inverse value gap. It's still coming down, breaking structure. Oh, you know what? It was just a retest. I was just impatient. I should re-enter. Then you'll re-enter, and then you'll say, let's say you enter off this value gap instead. Then you'll be like, all right, well, now we shouldn't retest that level. My model says that even though it doesn't follow my model, I'm still going to re-enter. Your issue was not confidence. Your issue was that you couldn't accept the loss. Your issue was that you choose to say, oh, but look how much money I could make. I mean, this is like 150 points. This is going to pass my account. You'll focus more on that than anything else. And when that turns against you, now all of a sudden it's, oh man, I was wrong. Maybe longs are the move. I mean, look, we just broke past this fair value gap and this fair value gap inverse here. Oh, that's probably what it was. It's probably a long today. Okay, let me enter long on this fair value gap here. Boom, boom, boom. And that's how you guys start spiraling. Once you already entered that second trade, once you had that first thought, really, of I should re-enter, that's kind of where everything just went wrong, right? The whole situation was cooked. But if you could say, let's say you enter the same trade, right? Same trade, same break even, right? It went in your favor, then you went break even, then it stopped you out. Someone who thinks through metacognition, practices this skill, they'll kind of say, like, even though I want to re-enter, they'll still get the same thought. Oh, I do want to re-enter. Like, it is kind of stupid that my theory isn't wrong. Like, my analysis isn't wrong. And it wasn't. If you guys look, it wasn't necessarily wrong, right? It still did move lower, right? But even though that I think that I'm right, and even though it's still valid, I choose to remember, like, hey, last time I entered off this emotion, last time I chose to follow this path, how did that kind of lead me? You know what? That kind of led me to spiral, and then I started taking multiple trades. And yeah, out of 10 times, you guys have to think about it like this. Out of 10 times, how many times did it work out? Yeah, like it worked out twice, maybe 3 times out of 10. But 7 times, I just completely spiraled and then blew my account. And then that's when you guys go back into what I was saying. You start switching bias. All right, it's long, short, long, short. All right, well, short here. Oh, we finally made a little bit of money back. Well, now we have to hold it longer. Then we went break even, and there goes a whole day, right? Then that's how you guys get stuck in the chop in the first place. Is it doesn't start with discipline issues. It starts with I choose to follow what I feel in this moment more than I choose to follow anything else. And that's where you guys are going wrong. But if you could just sit there and say, like, yes, I do feel this way, but my thoughts lie to me daily. My thoughts are always deceiving me, right? At one minute I'm happy, the next minute I'm sad. Why do I choose to follow that when I can instead reflect, analyze, and weigh your thoughts against something solid, right? So if you're saying, okay, I'm following something that's like it's like chasing a butterfly. But instead, if you say, all right, instead of chasing my thoughts, which are flying around everywhere, let me look at something solid. What's something that's solid, that does not change, that you can read every single day and it doesn't change? Your plan. That's why I say, if you guys have a real plan, you should have a real written plan. You got to look at it and say, how does this thought compare against this plan? Well, my thought's telling me, X, Y, and Z, but let me measure it against my plan. Oh, I shouldn't re-enter because I'm not supposed to re-enter, and every time I re-enter, I spiral. So I choose to not re-enter. And I'm probably going to go do something else and remove myself from the situation because I know that if I sit here, it doesn't matter how disciplined I am. I'm just going to spiral anyways. You guys understand? And naturally, you'll stop wanting to break your rules. I had someone in my stream the other day. He'd been, he finally got some payouts, but then he spent a couple months, not really doing what he should be doing, breaking his rules. And he told me, and he said, bro, like the way that I recognized it and the way that he understood it was that you don't have to overcome your problems, right? And I teach this too. You don't have to overcome your problems. You have to run away from your problems. You don't have to sit here and wait through the chop and wait for your setup. You don't have to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna be patient. That's a losing game. I have to be confident. I have to be confident. I have to be confident. That's a losing game, right? But if you can sit here and say, all right, well, even though I feel very strongly about wanting to take a trade, I know that sitting here is the end of me. I know that sitting here, I'm gonna force a trade. Then don't fight it. Walk away. And that's how most of you guys are going to finally be able to beat your problems. Is you're not going to beat your problems. You're going to run away from them. And as you start fleeing from these, right? Think about any story, right? Think about like any, hero or anyone that kind of had to fight the monster, right? A lot of the times, right, those internal demons, those internal monsters of yours, they're kind of just part of you. You guys can't really get over it. Guys, if I sit here for an hour straight, you guys think that every single day if I sit through chop like this, I won't force a trade eventually? No, that's human nature. Eventually you will. Those monsters and those problems are part of you. But you need to be able to recognize that you can't beat them, run away from them, right? If you can't beat them, join them, right? That type of energy. Okay then, walk away. That's how a lot of you guys are finally going to be able to beat your problems. And then someone's going to inevitably say, well, I can't walk away. It's physically like impossible. No, it's not. You just think that because that's how you feel in the moment, right? Again, you're still leaning on your thoughts. Well, I always have a problem with walking away. I can't seem to walk away, dude. Like every time I'm sitting on this chart, I just keep entering. Okay, if that's your problem, then honestly, respectfully, your problem isn't that you can't walk away. Your problem is that you believe you can't walk away, which I know sounds crazy. Well, how does belief have anything to do with it? Think about it. If I told you guys that, hey, walking away, if you walk away right now, I'll give you $1 million. Not a single one of you would have a problem with walking away. Okay, so then it's not that you can't walk away. It's that for some reason this outcome is driving you to not walk away, right? For some reason this trade is something is in your mind that's causing you to not walk away. Like a lot of you guys tell me you have a problem, but I'm telling you, like, if I gave you $1 million, do you think that problem would be solved? The answer is always yes. Okay, then it's not actually that type of problem. Your problem is that it's only there for this outcome, right? You only have this problem when you're thinking this way. Okay, that's when you have to start rearranging your mind, right? So when you start getting that temptation to enter again, well, then maybe you shouldn't be sitting at the chart when you're entering, right? I know a lot of you guys like to manage your trades, but respectfully, if managing your trades always leads to you sitting there for an hour straight and blowing your account, maybe you shouldn't manage your trades anymore, right? I know it sounds smart. Well, I need to manage break even. And of course, as you gain experience, you'll be able to go back to that. But a lot of you guys will say, well, I can't manage my trades because if I sit here for too long, I'm going to force a trade. Then don't manage them. Stop loss or take profit. Okay, it's not a problem, right? If you get stopped out, that's just one outcome, right? That's just one losing trade. It doesn't define anything for you, right? But a lot of you guys want to say, no, I need to win this trade. And in that case, you're always going to have a hard time because you're always going to be up and down. I'm winning, I'm losing, I'm winning, I'm losing, I'm winning, I'm losing, and you're never going to break free, and you're going to wonder why you're stuck in that cycle. Very, very simple, right? Very, very simple. But of course, I know it's not easy. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, okay, you've kind of opened my eyes. That is true that I do follow and I do spiral and I do have these issues. And you kind of make sense that, yeah, it's not a confidence issue because if it was, I would never enter. I would never, like I always say, if you genuinely did have these problems, you wouldn't really think about it. You'd always be like, let's say you had a problem with, lack of self-confidence. You wouldn't even think you have a lack of self-confidence. You think I'm just being patient. I'm just being focused, right? A genuine problem. So if you're actually able to sit there and question what the problems are, it's not a problem. It's acceptance, right? It's a problem of what you believe in and what you put your faith in and what you put your confidence in more than it is a problem of actual, like, lack of confidence. Because, again, it's very, very simple. If you ever think I don't have confidence, you just have to think, would I have confidence if I knew that I get $1 million whether I execute or not? Then you would execute, right? You would say, yeah, I would execute if I had $1 million. I would execute if I had this. Right? It's very, very simple. That thought alone should tell you that it's not a confidence problem. It's an acceptance problem. It's an outcome dependency problem. Make sense? If not, if you guys have any questions, right? If you were listening to this video and you're kind of like, that doesn't really make sense, bro. Like, I think I saw more. I got the solution for you. I'm live every single day on TikTok, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have a link in the description. Go check it out. Go check out more of my videos. I have plenty of explanation videos. DM me. My DMs are open. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.